All right, welcome back to another episode of Knicks Morning Koffee. I'm Mr. King. Y'all know my partner Joe Cool.
What's the word?
I was contemplating making this the shortest one in history, just by saying the Knicks suck and get up out of here. Cause this don't make no sense.
You unlocking your inner Stephen A.
Nah. This is
Listen, y'all trying to bite off more than y'all can chew. I told y'all all season long what it was, and y'all don't want to
that's
listen.
Nah, it goes deeper than just that though. Listen.
Chat. No, it don't.
It does.
To me, it was simple.
No, it's not simple.
Everything we talked about, every concern, it all showed itself.
Well, hold on. Before we get started, y'all, just remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Because right now I'm on my Knicks protest. I usually got my Knicks shirt on. I said semi because this is from the Earl Monroe basketball school. And I don't have my Knicks cup. I have my dream cup. I should have said my nightmare cup. All right, so go ahead. What you saying?
You know what I'm saying? Like, we knew all season long when we do the show what the issues was, what the positives was. You know what I mean? Like, we knew what happened the last time we made it to the playoffs, who folded, who didn't. Every tendency, it's like, what can we do? Like, my goal, I told you, was to make it to the second round. You make it to the second round, you make noise in the NBA of this is a different. They wanted to change the culture. That was the main thing they said they wanted to do, if not nothing. Just change the culture of the Knicks. And when we lost the game, and even though the game was over, usually the announcers, they say, oh, the Knicks suck, or whatever the case may be. He said, oh, the Knicks are coming. They arrived, and they're coming, and, the positives of Jalen Brunson and just turning this franchise around.
All right. Now, with all that you just said,
right,
that's the outlook. So we take all you just said, and then since have no show today, because I'm saying because that's the after Milwaukee went out, and the whole landscape of the playoffs had changed. I mean, before anybody start putting in, we got to the second round. We improved. We didn't even make the playoffs. Okay, that was all fine before, but the stakes got moved on the New York Knicks. One, the way we were heading into the playoffs, minus the injuries, and then two, with Milwaukee going out. And then the problems that our players faced. Okay, we knew about the exit from 2 years ago. But now you have a chance, when you've been there before, you have a chance to look back and find out where you can improve. So we improved maybe as a team leading up to the playoffs with that good season that we had. But once all this stuff transpired in the playoffs, then these opportunities, they don't come along that often. And then you don't know when you might get back to that. This was our best chance to make it to the finals, regardless of what anybody else might say. Because look at the teams that we were playing against.
I'm talking about it was, but after the game is over and you're mad, it's like you're looking at it like, all right, it's bigger than just the finals with the Knicks.
Joey, this one is too soon, though. This one is too soon to just throw it under the rug now. Because
so this is where my mental is at. The Heat, even though it is the Heat and we beat them all through the regular season,
I ain't even thinking about that.
But I'm saying they went to the play-in. They won in the play-in. Then you go and beat Milwaukee, and now you got to play the Knicks that beat you all year long, and then you beat them.
Let's take it back too, because we jumping, because this is about us, right? All right, Julius Randle's playoff performance. All right, this problem that we had
last time
I'm talking about with Milwaukee going out. That was a good problem. So when I say we missed the best opportunity to maybe even get to the finals or even beyond, and with Julius, where Julius has to take the blame, and I'm saying this as a person who knows what Julius maybe could do, right? Everybody knows what he's capable of. So we didn't do, I don't know, did we do enough to get him ready? And we'll get into that with the coaches. Or is Julius flame out the reason that we lost the playoffs? Because this is the part that hurts me right here. and I know I'm going to get over it soon. But Julius, if you just gave us your regular all-star performance, right, in each round of these playoffs, then we advance. We're not asking you to do nothing superhuman yet. All right? You should have been able to beat Cleveland with Julius having an all-star regular performance. His regular performance that got him to the all-star. He didn't do that, but we got there. We should beat Miami with Julius having his regular all-star performance. So nobody asking you to do nothing more than what you're capable of doing. Same thing holds for if Boston was to get to the finals. Now, Philly, he would probably have to elevate. But not until the finals that you reach somebody in the NBA finals where we would have asked Julius to go above and beyond what you are originally capable of doing. That's where the part that hurt. Nobody asked you to do no more than that.
Right.
Right?
And you hurt like some of the other Knicks fans. Remember, I was on the other side of y'all telling me all season long, leave Julius alone. You can't blame Julius.
Until.
But now, like, so
this is
now,
the until.
So now we seen him in the playoffs. And I said, I didn't like how he looked in the playoffs. He looked like he don't know what to do out there. He don't got nothing else in the arsenal. He don't got no more tools in the bag. So, yes, I don't really blame did we do enough for the Knicks. Yeah, there's some things that coaching-wise, I'm questioning. But player-wise, to see what Brunson does and Randall and RJ can't.
Okay, but I know, but that's why we say Julius.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. So with Julius, it's like you can't do nothing. Like there's nothing you can do.
Look at his playoff stats. 16 points per game in the playoffs. 8 rebounds. Now for somebody else, that would be like if Obi did that would be excellent, right? But we talking about Julius. You average 20-something points a game on a bad day. But this is your average. We're not even asking you to go above and beyond. Just give us your average. 8 rebounds is fine, but maybe you could have gave us 10, 11. Just being Julius. 3 assists. You can live with the 3 assists, right? But 3.5 turnovers per game. Your field goal percentage was 37.4. Your three-point percentage was 25.8. And then your free throws was 70%. So that's like so much of the blame originally for this to me falls on Randall because that's all you had to give us was your regular game before we even get to the other players.
Oh, yeah.
Just give us your regular game and it's enough. Miami tried to give this game back to us the other day. They tried to give it to us Friday night. We just would not take it. So that to me falls on Julius. I don't know what the pressure, I don't know what it was, but if I ever time where I could say that I was done, right? Because most players, you take IQ and you take RJ and you take their performance. Okay, RJ had some decent games, but they were still subpar. IQ way subpar. But at least in the first one that we went to 2 years ago, they were young. And then that's how they come up with these names, playoff Jimmy, playoff P, playoff, because they rise in the playoffs. Even James Harden woke up for the first time in the playoffs.
I remember always saying when you play ball in your neighborhood, can you play the same or if not better when you go somewhere else? Or when the competition go up, do you play better or the same? That's all the playoffs is to me. When you go to the playoffs, people's contracts are on the line. You know, people's legacies are on the line. And when you get there and you show you show your ass, this is what happened. Randall did this twice. He did it twice. I think he owe us a playoffs the way he played. The way he played, he owe us a free season. I think he got to have a season where he don't get paid.
Yeah, okay.
Facts.
Well, right now, none of them deserve to get paid.
I don't agree with Knicks fans going out and defacing his face.
Nah,
I don't agree with that because he did do what he do. You know what I mean? To lighten it up, he did do what he did all season. But the season don't really matter. You could tell by the Lakers, Golden State, you just want to get to the playoffs. And then when the playoffs start, that's when you got to put your best work in. You don't want to get hurt. You don't want to over-exert yourself. It's 82 games. You get to the playoffs, and this is what you get it for. Why the hell does Brunson got to play the whole damn game?
Well, he didn't have to. He didn't have to.
I'm just saying, and drop this many points.
Yeah. Well, a lot of that, some of that was Tibbs, but a lot of that also was Brunson.
Nah.
And no, I mean, we got to give Brunson all the credit in the world. And if you have never coached before, you'll look at what Brunson and say was superhuman. Yeah, to a degree, but a lot of that was, as the point guard, you still have a responsibility to try to orchestrate something because better guys way before you have tried to take everything on their shoulders.
So hear me out. If Brunson
I'm not defaulting nothing Brunson did. I'm just saying.
Because we was getting into it.
Brunson shared some of the blame.
I'm one of the people that listen. We play ball, and if you're a good player, if your team ain't doing it, you're not getting paid. I would have looked at that. I would have looked at everybody on that court, Randall, RJ, and they said, if y'all don't want to play, F y'all. I'll do.
That's what goes
to your mind.
But that's the mentality when we're talking about true point guard.
Yeah, so
that's the
what
mentality.
you're saying is
he's not a true point guard.
Yeah, but what you were saying was if I'm giving it to Obi and he jacking up air balls, listen, I'm not talking about giving it to Joe. I'm saying, if I'm getting people in the game, right, I'm putting them on their toes.
No, he's not doing that.
Yes, he was. When I kick it out to you, when I kick it out to Randall, when I kick it out to Brunson, RJ, and y'all not doing nothing.
I'm talking about orchestrating. Like sometimes you have to. And I'm not I'm not bashing Brunson. So let's just but we're just talking about if Tibbs is not going to do it, then maybe the point guard can take the onus of orchestrating. Okay, I know I can get mine. I can get mine anytime I want to. But I'm seeing these double teams coming and not even win the double team all the way get there. I'm talking about seeing it coming to set you up. I'm just talking about orchestrating. So we ain't gonna turn this into a Brunson, because I don't agree with everything Brunson did in the series. I'm not turning into a Brunson, he didn't have a Chris Paul type playoff series.
And if you ask
but he had a scoring. If Randall would have scored 40 in that particular way, I would say the same thing about Randall. But, not even about the points that he put up.
Even with comparison, I'm taking Chris Paul out the comparison because as much as he's a field general, he don't do nothing neither. He don't make no finals. He don't win
we talking about player involvement.
But you talking about player involvement. We in the
so would you take a young Chris Paul in this situation or young Brunson?
There is no young Chris Paul right now. In this
situation, no. You just said the same thing about what he didn't do.
No, but I'll take a person that's gonna say, if y'all not gonna play, forget y'all. I got it.
All right, so that's what he did.
But Chris Paul don't do that.
All right.
Chris Paul, what he did. So what I'm gonna say?
Listen,
let me get my players in the game.
Everybody has to be evaluated in this offseason.
I'm gonna not drop 41, and I'm gonna get 20 assists and lose the game. Not even 20 assists. I'm just throwing the ball for you not to score. I'm throwing the ball for you to look back at me. That's what they would do.
I'm not gonna turn into that with Brunson because it's too much to cipher through. But everybody, I don't care what nobody will write or say. Everybody shares in this blame because this opportunity, it only comes along so often for a team like us. Like, we're not the Lakers. On a bad leg, they got a chance to get to the finals and possibly win it. So we don't have that type of history. But every player now and management also got to be looked at. But everybody got to be scrutinized in this offseason because the opportunities just don't come along. Now, before we go back into that, we go back to Randall for a second. We also have to consider, like you said, I think it was just to get in the playoffs. Well, Randall proves in 2 or 3 years that he's good enough to help get us to the playoffs. Now, are we satisfied that each player in the offseason is going to come back and grow to that next level? Like, are we satisfied that Obi, IQ, RJ?
But my same problem. But I said all year long, and I said I was gonna leave Randall alone. And this is what I'm saying. Randall, I'm gonna say it for the younger fans. Randall is not him, right? I'm tired of the potential or what you think you can do. If he don't believe he can do it, it does not.
And that's
matter.
The only thing that makes him not him. Because Randall got more tools. You can't name 10 people in the league right now that got more tools under the belt than Randall. Now, you can name 50 that got more heart and guts than Randall to stick to what they do best. But there ain't 10 guys in the league that can really dominate a game the way Randall can if it was in his head. If he thought he was him.
But the question is, does he do this off instinct, or is he doing this like, I know this is what's gonna get the job done? To me, I can't find the word to say. If I'm just doing this to be doing this, and you watching a player, you a coach, you see one of your young players do something, you're gonna take that and build on it. That's what I blame coaches for. That's why we're gonna go back to coaching. So now with players, if you just doing it and you don't realize what you're doing, there's a difference. I think with the Knicks and with player development, with the coaching staff, players are doing stuff and they really don't even know what they're doing. So that's when I watch the Knicks. That's what I see. So yeah, we can come at individual players and their performance and how well they're growing. And when you think they hit a ceiling, like we think RJ hit a ceiling, and then he show a new level of, oh, he could be great. The problem is, because does he realize, and I don't know, maybe they do. I don't want to sound disrespectful, but maybe they don't realize what it is they actually doing when they breaking down a defense, or they driving to the basket, or why are you shooting a three? Step in one. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're open, you're right there. Brunson did it too. He threw the ball away at the end of the game, where to me, you might as well should have just stopped mid-range and just pull it if you was going to do all that. You know what I mean? Like, little things like that. Randall beat his man, he crossed him over, and then where you going? Little stuff like that. Like, who's breaking down that little stuff to get your mind back on the basics?
I don't think there was no stone unturned in terms of preparation going into the game. I think the problem lies the pressure within the game. Like, everybody knows each other's tendencies. I think every corner of the court is broken down. But you as an individual player, how much of that capacity are you retaining in those moments? Because our turnover ratio showed that we rattled.
Yeah.
They rattled us because Miami duped us into making us believe that they believed they was better than us. Like,
no,
Jimmy didn't do nothing. Jimmy didn't do nothing. Like we said, we asked Randall, play to your capabilities, right? If you look at Jimmy's performance, he played physically and mentally to his capability. Because look, he didn't have astronomical numbers, right? But he did what he did, also mentally, to make you believe that I'm better than you. When Randall should have came in with the same mindset. You know, the same mindset that if Randall come in, and I go back to when I say 10 guys in the NBA, if we bottle up 10 guys in the NBA and we take their best moments, right? And you take Randall's, you're not going to find 10 guys that can put a game like that together. Even though Randall does his in a bottle. If you could just take that bottle of Randall's and take that same bottle of 10 other players, then you got something. So when you even come down to the coaches, how do you, like you talking about players in that ceiling with RJ, because players know what they want to do. But the purpose of a coach sometimes is to help you navigate getting to where you want to go. And that's where we fail. Because I start with Randall. Randall would give us his regular play, and then at certain times we needed to, where we could jump on his back, nobody can beat us. You know, this is why I say once in a while, give us that elevation. Because then you make up for IQ. You make up for RJ. You know what I'm saying? You make up for the little bit that Obi may or may not give you. You make up for that.
Listen, and this is all good because Brunson, though he showed leadership, I'm not convinced that this year, like, he was the actual leader. Jimmy Butler's case, he is the leader. He got up and screamed up, let's play ball. When they beat us and they smoked us without Jimmy Butler there, him on the sideline, I heard him clear as day. They didn't even have him mic'd up, nothing. He looked at him and said, let's play ball. They did all the dirty work.
Because Miami was playing with nothing to lose.
Yeah, because Miami know this is what I'm supposed to do, just ball out. Knicks should have did that.
All right, but Miami, because we play with nothing to lose. When you ain't going that series thinking you're going to beat Milwaukee. So when you beat Milwaukee, you playing with house money. That's why they go in the game, jack them up. Make them miss some jack. Now when you start smelling blood later in the series, that's different. But you nowhere in your wildest dreams, crazy as Jimmy is, he expect to go in there and beat Milwaukee. I don't give a damn what nobody say. But once you do, like the Knicks, once Milwaukee is out, everybody should have been sniffing blood. Not that Giannis could take you there like that, but in people's mind, everybody had to believe in the Eastern Conference that it was going to go through Milwaukee. So once they're gone, you know, hey, let's fight for it. So Jimmy's leadership, good or bad, always shows. Good or bad. The brilliance almost came with Eric Spoelstra. Because it's on the players. It's on the players, but you look at...
He looked like...
you look at...
Spoelstra never to me, when you say like greatest coaches of all time, but that's how I say you never really... You don't think of Spoelstra, but when he played the Knicks, I don't know what it was.
Well,
like, I don't know if that's a player issue or a coach issue. How the hell is Vincent on us like white on rice when we inbound the ball coming down court?
Because that's a scouting report.
Then we go to try to track full court, and they just breaking it too.
No, they're not breaking it. The only reason why they're breaking it, because remember in the 2-4, I don't want to lose thought on the Spoelstra thing, but this is the reason why they're breaking it. If you look back to the Cleveland series, and I was yelling that out the last game, when we trapped in the Cleveland series, we also occupied the outlet. So we trapped in this series, in particular last game, but you leave the outlet. So now when they outlet, you're under man in the backcourt. So that's the part I didn't get that was making me crazy. What are we trapping for if we're going to give a simple, easy outlet out?
And that's what I'm saying. That's why
right. So, but you did it in the Cleveland game.
Yeah.
You trapped, took the ball out of your hand, but there was nobody for them to throw it to. So it's like you wasted it. That wasn't even a kill time type of a trap because everybody trying to get downhill. Now we got to get right back real quick to the Spoelstra thing. If this is when Tibbs didn't dust off Derrick Rose, possibly a Fournier, because it's not a matter of who can shoot; it's that you have to shoot. Who was that? Oladipo and Hero are not playing. So Oladipo and Hero plays. We don't see Gabe Vincent like that. We only see a little bit of Spool, whatever they say his name, and then you don't even see Duncan Robinson. So for them guys to come in, and now, of course, you undermanned, so you sending them guys in with that mindset that we need outside shooting. Y'all three guys' biggest asset is shooting. So that's what you got to do. We win or lose, because Bam didn't come alive till later. And we knew that was just a matter of time, but that should not even been enough. But when you look at Duncan Robinson coming in, pulling right up in your grill, same with Gabe Vincent and Sproul. It's like, remember we said sometimes people are guarding you, but they're not guarding you. And that's what it looked like. Even if you're guarding them, they already got the mindset from their coach. Pull it. I don't give a damn. So you down in your stance because you're not expecting them to. And they duped us the whole season into making us think that they were a better team.
All three of them was pulling it like an actual shooter will pull it. So maybe, I don't know. RJ pulled it like he got to think about it.
Because we drilling around looking for an opening.
Randall got to do a step back in rhythm just to pull it. He just can't pull it. And then who else we got? Obi, his feet too close together, I think.
Because they're not receiving the ball with the mindset of shooting. That's why.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that was my issue with Fournier. Fournier used to get the ball, and he's trying to orchestrate like, no, just pull the
right. So don't you think, because them guys didn't really barely play going down the stretch of the regular season for Miami Heat. So don't you think that they were told, like, when the ball come your way, let it go. Because one, it catch the Knicks off guard, catch them off balance. You know, on the offensive end. So now they killed us on the offensive boards, which again, supposed to be our big strength in this series because they're even smaller than Cleveland. And they just handled us in every aspect of the game.
Listen, even with Miami, it was probably easier for Miami with a Jimmy Butler and a Lowry that been there before. Like, there's players on that court, Kevin Love, that probably can talk to those guys that been there before. Like, we can't just quickly just rule out what the Heat got standing on the court. Usually, I think when it comes to coaching and these great teams, I don't got to coach too much because there's coaches on the court.
Yeah.
We don't got coaches on the court. When we had, what was the big man that I said I missed that? He wasn't our best player, but for some reason why, he gets in our players' heads.
Gibson.
Now, he's not the best of them. He probably wasn't the best leader. But on the court, you can see when he's pulling players to the side, he's saying stuff or resetting, or he's the one putting his hand up, telling everybody to chill, talking on defense, pulling Mitchell to the side. It was a difference. It makes the coaching,
veteran leadership.
It's the coaching job easier. But now when you got a Jimmy Butler that's trying to get there, I don't even know. Did they get a ring? Did Jimmy get one?
Nah.
Yeah, so he's trying to get there. He's like an animal, right? Then you got Larry that been there that plays. Larry plays like an old school game, right? Larry's gonna play ball and ball out no matter what speed. He could probably play forever if he don't get hurt.
Well, that's why I said they duped us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So when you got that on the court and then you got three guys that probably just shoot and Vincent and all of them, it's way easier. With the Knicks,
it's way easier when you're told to do that.
Now, with the Knicks, we got a lot of players that probably are really good, and you say this all the time, that what's the name?
I take it back. I don't give a damn.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Like I'm trying to think.
Nah,
it don't matter if you could
I'm
do.
only kidding.
Yeah, it don't matter that you could do all this crazy stuff. The coaching kind of got to figure out how to make it work.
Yeah, no, you're right.
What's the name that was missing on the shots? Quentin Grimes.
Yeah.
Why, if you know you can do everything Brunson was doing, right? Me saying it, like, why don't you just
no? But actually, let's
go do it.
You're right, and this is what I say too about with the coaching, and the coaching then it goes down to the players. Now I don't give a damn why we got all these assistant coaches. I don't know what the hell.
30 people on the bench looking.
It don't make no sense to me.
They
got
if
we was to go down to players, all right, Grimes. Yeah, I want Grimes back. And this is like a panic situation because it's a panic situation because it did not have to happen. Okay, a few weeks from now, we're forgetting about all of this. We're moving on. And then we just enjoy the season that we had.
I know, right? I feel like this is the Knicks mindset.
Well, I can't enjoy it yet because you put so much into the season. And again, when I keep going back to Milwaukee, with this opportunity that you have, like Randall, you flamed out. You didn't have to. You flamed out mentally. It's not what they did to you physically. Mentally, you flamed out on us again mentally. So now you're an older player. So yeah, you're good enough to help. I use the term help get us to the playoffs, and you're going to probably help get us to the playoffs again next year. But where do we go from there now? Right? Do you want to be a perennial playoff contender, or do we want to try to really get in the playoffs and do some noise? This I think was a good chance for us. But if everybody overall just played a regular game, and let's say Miami took away one or two other people at times, but they just took us mentally out of our game totally. And you said it yourself, and we was watching at one point, nobody wanted to bring the ball up. Like they looking for RJ usually goes downhill. And they looking for Brunson.
And that was my whole thing. Take away the stats, take away the numbers. When you got Jimmy Butler, let's play ball. And then when you inbound the ball, and my thought is let me give it to Brunson. Let me find Brunson. That's the issue.
That is a big issue.
So now I don't know, do you have to say something to your players and tell them, like, listen, play your game? Or is there a player that's supposed to, like, is Brunson supposed to scream out, no, Grimes, do what you do?
Well,
because you beating him off the dribble. Grimes beat him off the dribble like 5 times,
Brunson,
and then look for Brunson again. Like, why y'all keep looking for him?
Right, what Brunson could have done, right, and this ain't taking nothing away from Brunson, is them situations where RJ had it. I'm going to use RJ in particular. He was the main one that was, Grimes is just following the game plan. When RJ had it, Brunson should have just ran. Like, don't even come back to the ball. Ball side. Go down court and fill the spot that RJ, you always come back and get it. So now that forces the defense to shift, and that tells RJ, I got to run the 8-second clock, so I got to get it over the line, so I got to push. Once you start pushing, then you start going into basketball instincts, which is what Hart was trying to do in his mind. But now you being asked, in a sense, to try to do something you're incapable.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for Hart because we screaming at him to score.
No, not really.
I'm just saying, not us, but the clock is running down. Brunson tried to get a shot off, couldn't get a shot off. Maybe swung it to Hart. Everybody else don't know what to do.
Well, that's why I said
they in disarray.
But that's why I was saying before with Brunson, on some of those when the defense was coming to, instead of taking that next dribble into it, you see the man, and then we was pointing that out. Like, you was like, no, Brunson got to take it. But just the fact that once you swing it to that wide open man, he either has the shot that they wasn't taking, or now you got the hockey assist. But now you moving the defense.
Yeah,
But we wasn't making that pass to that outlet person.
Yeah, but my problem was they just wasn't taking.
Well, I'm talking. Yeah, but I'm saying you gotta make the defense move their feet.
Yeah, they was pump faking, and even when they pump fake and they succeeded, they didn't take the midi.
Yeah. Miami got into our head because nobody wanted to be the GOAT, but by everybody not wanting to be the GOAT, they all became the GOAT. Now this is the other thing with Tibbs, when you're talking about their guys that came into the game that wouldn't even have been playing if Oladipo and Hero was healthy, right? So why not? Brunson got the hot hand. Why not move Brunson to the 2 and through parts of the game, and bring in Rose? At least Rose would not have been rattled to break down the defense. That's like
I feel like
you
that was
didn't.
the biggest play of Tibbs.
So Tibbs, you didn't try to do nothing, and we're gonna skip to coaching right now.
Not even the Heat. Not even nobody on the Heat. I don't care what nobody say. Even with the shots he missed when he came in for 2 minutes, nobody can hold that man.
Yeah, because it ain't about his scoring. It was about his breaking down the defense.
Breaking down
and
the
then the scoring would have came.
Past him.
Right, the scoring would have came, and then you would have balanced out your court.
Some young guys would have seen D Rose, and they would have thought the worst. They'd have been like, oh no. When he went on the Timberwolves and he showed that he could do what D Rose do sometimes. He didn't have to do fresh legs. Fresh leg D Rose too.
He
didn't take no hits.
He could have gave us that
spark. Oh my God. He just sitting there chilling. Damn.
Yeah, so let me go back to something, one of our shows a few weeks ago when, and I don't know if it's not even really a panic, it's just the conversation, that did we miss the ball on Rick Pitino?
Oh yeah, I remember you saying that.
So, Tibbs, Randall, they proved they can help get you to the playoffs. But for Randall to be a part of helping us get to the playoffs, does it still make him the man? Because clearly right now, the whole world can see that, even though you've been saying it for months, but clearly now, because like Kenny Smith said, the regular season you make your name, and the playoff you make your fame, some shit like that. Well, Brunson proved that, Randall, this is not your team. This is not your team because nobody cares if you're missing. But you decided not even to be aggressive to show that type of leadership.
Even when LeBron ain't doing good.
So this now,
make it look like
this automatically becomes Brunson's team in the eyes of, now them guys ripping down the facing property, I'm not with that. Yeah. Right? But Randall, the displeasure in Randall should be known. Because we ain't judging you on the regular season. We know what you're capable of. But you had opportunity right now to be mentioned in the same breath with even Carmelo, who didn't even get us past the second round. But you would have been looked upon as that.
Man, listen, Brunson...
I keep going back to Randall when I'm on coaching. Right?
Yeah, but Brunson done hit like
I
5 Knicks records in the playoffs. I'm just saying.
Yeah, those records.
No, I'm just saying, but Randall didn't do
right. He didn't do, right. And the stage was set.
And you know what? Now that how many days passed? A day or two. I already knew what Randall was going to do. Like I knew what he was going to do. Matter of fact,
you couldn't have known, Joey, because you yourself was talking sweep at first.
No. Yeah, I was.
All right, so you ain't talking sweep without Randall.
Because I'm thinking
having a monster game, a series.
They ain't even really. I'm thinking maybe because Brunson's there, it make it easier for Randall. Randall could just have his way. I was wrong.
Well, let me tell you something else. When we get to, let's go back to the players.
No, you said Tibbs.
I know, but that's just we're gonna have to do another show too because it's so much. It's just too much to unpack, y'all. I don't know where we at in time, but okay, we're gonna run down this real quick. All right, Grimes. We want Grimes to come back.
Yeah.
But for Grimes to come back as a starter, his role has to change. Through coaching, his role has to change, and he got to become a prime member in that starting unit, right? Mitch. For me to see Mitch come back as a starter, because there was no reason at all in this playoffs, especially in this round, for Mitch to have the type of series that he had. There was no. Well, so now for me,
Mitch defense.
Well, wait. For Mitch, for me, that right now, all right. We're not going to give you any offensive reason to grow. Then you got to come back as my backup. You got to come. Now we'll explore a starting center that can score a little bit,
right,
at least with some skill.
So that's what I was going to say.
No, let me just hold on to that in your cap, right? And then for RJ to come back as my starter, you have to come back almost the same as I say with Grimes. Your whole elevation and the mindset in which we use. Now I'm assuming we don't get a star player to somebody, so you got to come back with that same, because these teams that we're playing prove that 3 or more guys can have outstanding games. Like the game that we did win, we had 3 people with over 20 in a win. So you got to come back. I got to believe that this is a consistent way that you're playing in your mindset and the way I'm building the offense around y'all. Because Brunson can get his without doing that. Right? But can Brunson, does his game mean that if he's not doing that, Is that a part of his game that he can facilitate and then get his when needed? I don't know if that's the way he plays. But my 2 and my 3, if I don't go out and get a low post player that can score, y'all gonna have to come back to be my starters with something I can hang my hat on day in and day out. It's gonna have to be like that. So to me, wholesale changes won't be made, but something got to give. And it ain't just moving Randall. It ain't just putting Obi in the starting lineup. We got to have a consistent guy on that block. You know what I'm saying? This way you can't trap our guards and run us off certain things, because just like Sacramento show, you do that and my big gonna kill you. Well, Mitch is not gonna kill you for the way we playing. Go ahead.
All right, so let's go. Let me go backwards. With Mitch, if we bring somebody better than him, I think he has to move down to the bench. Because if we're not gonna play him, like you said, we're not gonna give him like points in the paint, then there's no other use for him but a rim protector. That's not no knock on Mitch. That's not on coaching, because they gotta get him the ball the way.
Yeah, and we're not running the pick and rolls.
We're not running it, right? When it comes to Randall, if we don't get nobody better than him,
well, go Randall and Brunson we can leave out.
No, listen, we ain't gonna get I'm not leaving nobody out. If Randall, we don't find nobody better, a superstar to maybe to replace him, then maybe he can stay, right? Whoever we got after that, Grimes. If we not gonna give Grimes a bigger role, like you said, then ain't no need for him to even play. Put him to the bench, right? Or trade him off in the package and just keep Hart. Ain't no reason to keep both of them then. RJ, if you don't find nobody better than him, don't package him with Randall. Get somebody better than RJ to play with Grimes, like preferably a superstar in that spot. And then Brunson, we keep him.
Then we got to mention IQ.
But if we go to the bench, it's a whole different story.
Yeah.
Hartenstein, like say if we got Karl Anthony Towns, we don't need Hartenstein.
Yeah.
Send Hartenstein with that package, move Robinson down. You get onto the Kumbo, we don't need Randall.
And the money we giving Derrick Rose.
You know what I mean? Derrick Rose got to play this shit.
Listen, it don't matter. You might as well let him go. Because now, the best opportunity to use him. And you paid them all that money.
The whole playoff, you mean to tell me they had to play, like you said, they didn't have to play the whole game. So they played the whole game when you got these players sitting on the bench. Yeah. That ain't make no sense. And then you still got Sims in the background. And if y'all not even going to use him right, then what are y'all doing? So then that's a whole coaching thing. I think we might have to break this up into maybe 3 different shows. We might have to go from management, which I feel like they didn't do nothing completely wrong. Like, that's fine. But between coaching and individual players, Antetokounmpo said, is it a failed season? For individual players, for a lot of us on the Knicks, yes, it's a failed season for them. For the Knicks as a whole, no.
No, it's not a failed season.
Not a failed season, so it's a difference.
Frustrating season.
Randall failed.
Frustrating end to a season. Because when we do our next show, then we can talk about the success that we had. But as far as right now,
it's
to get it out, and you can get it out without somebody saying, "Oh, well, the Knicks got," y'all save all that for another time. As Knicks fans, we are allowed to get it. Well, I'm allowed to get it out. I don't care what you say, right? And it has to be said, because we can love our team sometimes to a default, and you can't live in the woulda, coulda, shoulda. But this is definitely a could've with Milwaukee, and I keep saying with Milwaukee out. It's definitely a could've, because Philly and Boston, they're not doing nothing to each other than what might could be expected. And Embiid is showing with a healthy down low guy, what's the possibilities that people just don't have answers for that. So yeah, we definitely got to come back soon and do another one, because there's so much was to unpack. And then by the time we get to the next one, then we can try to really go, where do we go from here? All right. But as far as the frustration of exiting the playoffs, yes, second round, if you told us that in the beginning of the season, we would have took it. But situations have changed, and you got to change with the situations. All right. So unless you want to add something else.
Nah, man. Next, call me. You know what I mean?
Call somebody now at this point.
Put me down there with a piece of paper and a pad. I'd have coached. You know what I mean? My coaching skills are all right.
I think I would have done a better job than that as far as getting stuff out of the players.
Not even coaching, consulting.
But just getting into the mindset of the players. But anyway, if you made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And until next time, peace.
Peace.